Hello everybody. So today I'd like to show you my newest addition to my drum collection. A drum with which most of you probably are familiar with, and it's djembe. Apparently this is how to say it properly. So about the history of the drum, apparently it was invented circa 1200 BC, so it's very old. It's one of the goblet drums family, as you can see. About the detailed origins of the goblet drums, I have a separate episode, which will come up somewhere here. But this one is, partially similar, partially different. First of all, as you can see, the goblet part is way more pronounced than with darbukas or dombeks or any other type. It's way deeper. However, there are also types that have this wider goblety part, even deeper into the general length of the drum. So this is one part. The second part is that djembes and in general the African goblet drums, because maybe I should have mentioned it before that this part is not from this drum is not from the Middle East. It's actually from the Africa. The more southern parts of the Africa. And just like the other African goblet drums, this one is actually made out of wood. I mean, not this very one. This one is some plastic stuff because it's from mine. But the general rule is that those African goblet drums are carved out of wood. And they usually have a natural leather skin type of drum head, usually a goat skin. This is again, in difference to usually, of course, the darbukas and dombeks, which nowadays most of the time have synthetic skin. I mean, synthetic drum head, obviously. And the final difference is that this is obviously rope tuned, not with lugs or anything. Which, to be honest, when you already know how to do it, is very simple. But to anyone who's newbie, like I am, to be honest, it's pretty complex. And fun fact: what I found about the name of the drum. The djembe apparently comes from one of the indigenous languages of the Africa. And I'm not even going to try to say it in their native language because it's like an entire phrase, but it's roughly translated to everyone gather in peace. And in general, many linguists find the parts of the name to be connected with gatherings and with peace, which, well, to be honest, to me is very beautiful, because music indeed should unite. And also, according to, I think it was Nami people, I don't really know the name, sorry if I misnamed something, the skilled musician can make the djembe talk, which apparently means that skilled drummer can tell an entire stories just by playing the drum, which, to be honest, to our European ears may sound like really weird, because in our culture, drums are just an accompaniment for the band to keep the time. I mean, it's like that usually. I'm not saying it's good, because I, of course, find that a drummer is a musician just like violinist or any other. But let's face it, usually drummer is just there to keep the time for the band. But as we can see, not exactly in different parts of the world. So how to actually play it? Well, I play it usually in this position. This is just how I learned it and how I first saw it being played. So I rest the drum on my feet, or sometimes on my ankles because I'm short. Keep it here with my knees together and have a flat playing surface in here. However, I've also seen people playing the drum at an angle. I won't really show it here because I have a leg, but okay. at an angle like that, where the bottom part rests on the floor, and here you keep it with your knees. So you play it more like a cajon of sorts. I've also sometimes even seen people playing congas like this when they are playing a single conga. So this is probably some sort of newer version. And I also seen actual Africans playing this like that, when they keep it, here under their arms and play it in here. However, with this thing, I cannot guarantee you it was this very djembe. This might have been another goblet drum that just looks similar, because to be honest, in Africa, there's a lot of variations. They all look similar, yet they're very different instruments. So with the last part, I cannot guarantee you it was a djembe. However, I usually keep it like this, probably mostly because, like I said, I saw it being played like that for the first time, and also, I switched to percussion from a drum kit, so having a flat surface in front is very easy for me to play, because, it's like a snare drum. But okay, the sounds here, I really like the distinctiveness of the djembe, because you have the very firm, deep bass in the center, and this very sharp slap at the edge. And also, here's the tone in the middle. So you have a very different sounds. This is also why I really like djembe, but unfortunately I don't find it too much used in the Western music. Mostly when there are percussions, there are bongos, congas, and stuff like that. Usually there's no djembe. But, well, anyway. I really liked it, and probably I will try to use it more on the channel than I used to do it until that time. Because I really enjoy playing this. Especially that, you can apply various different techniques, because as some of you maybe noticed in my Amalunia videos, I play the slap not exactly in here, but here, to the side, which, well, sounds pretty similar, but, the technique is a little bit different. It's just easier for me because, of all the mics that I have here, but, you can do it like that. And also about the sizes of the djembe, because that can be tricky. But from what I find, the right djembe for you is of the size of your palm. Basically, you have to be able to fit your palm comfortably in the center of the drum head, and to let not your fingers interfere. I here have a 13-inch djembe, because I also, really wanted to have this big playing surface, but also I wanted to have the djembe as different from darbuka as possible. So I have a very small darbuka, and I wanted a big djembe. I was trying to get myself a wooden djembe, but it was too expensive for me. But I have at least a real goat head here. Because to be honest, when you have a small synthetic head and plastic djembe, to me it sounds too similar to darbuka. I guess you can make use of it. For example, you have one drum, and depending on how you play it, you can make it sound more like darbuka or more like djembe. But I really wanted this, this sharp divide between one and another. And probably in the future I will try to get my hands on a real wooden djembe, and maybe even bigger, a 14-inch. Probably that would be my dream. So I guess that is more or less everything I had about the djembe. One thing I maybe would like to add is that there are also those leaves, I think they are called, or feathers. In general, there are some metal parts that you can attach here, and they go like this up, in the air. And they have like some jingles or rings attached to them, so when you play the djembe, especially when you hit the bass, they resonate and make this jingly sound. This is very funny, and maybe one day I will also get my hand on a few of them. So I think that's all about the drum, and I'll leave you with a short solo, and see you in another cover. Bye bye.